I'm Dustin.
And I'm Dylan.
Welcome to the Country Scroller. As you can tell from the title, we're going to be making a CS belt buckle. And it'll look like this. We hope you enjoy. Ready to complete this belt buckle that we're going to be making, we have to have these supplies. We have our maple and walnut contrast for the CS, and we have the CS pattern. We have the piece that will, the buckle will fit inside. We have the template that I already made because it took some rigging to get this fit in there exactly right. So the template will go over top of that. So now what we're going to do is start by doing the inlay on this. So let's get started. This is the same process as the Country Scroller coaster. Hopefully the results of this one will be better. But we're just going to cut out the CS. Got the CS cut out. To apply the CS to the walnut, first use some masking tape. Again, that helps peel up the pattern easier. Now we're going to spray this with spray adhesive and tack it on there. Now for the clear box tape. Now that our pattern is fully on there, I'm just going to cut this right there just to make this easier to just work with this. Next step in the process is to stack cut. Now what we got to do is find an area on the board, because the measurement of the belt buckle will be 3 inches by 4.5. So wherever we place this, we have to make sure it'll be in the center of the area that will have enough room on this. We want the grain to go vertically on both. So what we can do is this is the template piece that we're going to be using, so we can just figure on where that will go at. So like can sit there, so it's sort of towards a corner. That way we can use this maple for something else. So tack that on there. Do is just cut out the maple piece, and that'll make it easier to do the stack cut rather than have the whole piece of maple. Already did the stack cut on the CS. I put 2 nails in it, but I didn't give enough room on the walnut to do it without it accidentally hitting where the actual walnut piece will go for the buckle. So I'm just going to put some box tape on it and make sure this won't move, and then we'll be ready for our next step, which is drilling a hole. I have plenty of box tape on there, and so she should not move around at all when I'm cutting it. Now the interior hole I'm going to drill to cut out the inlay part, I'm going to put it inside the C instead of halfway between the C and what will be the maple, because hiding it will be a lot easier if it's right in the middle of that C part there. So drill my hole, and I'll be over to the scroll saw. Okay, over at the scroll saw now, and I got the table tilted to the 3-degree angle, and before I did it a tad bit over, and I wasn't sure how it'd work, and as if you watched the Country Scroller coaster video, the CS didn't quite fit in as much, so maybe the shallower the angle it will. So let's start cutting. Already back off the scroll saw now. We can take apart this by just peeling up the tape. Again, with the 2 pieces, the piece of maple can come out. Now we can take out the walnut piece here. And that came out much easier this time, so maybe the angle issue is resolved in this. Maybe I just did it better. So I can peel up the pattern on the CS. And hopefully, as you'll find, the CS fits in there better than before. It's still sort of sticking out a little bit, but it is definitely a lot better than before. So yeah, it's sort of matched, but with a little bit of pounding with the rubber mallet, she will definitely go in there. So this is a much better result than the coaster. So all I'm going to do is just put some glue, and then I can finish putting that in. Already with the glue on it. Just push that in there. Now lightly with this little rubber mallet here. Now that's messy around there, that's just because the glue, but that will sand flush with the surface, and it is pretty much good. And as you can tell from the back, it's not a big old hole there. So very, very good results on this one, and I'm much happier with the results on this than the coaster. So what we can do now is I'm going to let that glue set up and dry before I do any sanding. And what I'll do is just sand it flush and then hide that entry hole. And then we'll be ready to cut the shape for the belt buckle. Gave the glue on this enough time to dry and set up. So I'm going to just take this quarter sheet sander and sand it all flush with the surface here. Now what I have is a nice smooth surface to surface of the walnut. Now I'm going to do to hide that hole is just take some walnut sawdust and mix it with some glue and cover that hole and sand it flush, and it'll be all done. And then I'll show you the next step of cutting out the shape. Already, and as you can see, I've hidden that hole so you can't see it. And again, this is a much better quality than the Country Scroller coaster I had. Now the belt buckle is going to be 3 inches by 4.5, and to do that, there's going to be two things going on. The belt buckle itself has to be involved in this because it has the things on the back that we need, and I just sort of am making this around this. So what I came up with is this thing, it says winner because 1,000 tries to get a perfect fit. This was the lucky winner, and this will fit inside there, but with a lot of force to get it in there, but it will be snug. And I'll show you what I'm going to do is on this piece I'm going to trace this template on it and cut it out, and that way this will be the piece that this goes on top of to hold the belt buckle on. So what I'm going to do is just trace this pattern on there, make sure it's centered in the belt buckle area, and cut it out, and I'll be back with you to show you the next step. Already I cut out the piece that the buckle will fit in. Now what we can do is go ahead and trace this on to where the CS will be in the middle. So I'll just cut out a 3 by 4.5 inch square, or that'd be a rectangle. So I'll mark it out and then I'll cut it out. So I marked it out. Now to cut it out on the scroll saw, and I'll be right back with you. So now I got that cut out, so that should be the same size. So the actual belt buckle will be a 1/2 inch thick. So what we're going to do now is flip it over, and the belt buckle will be put in like this. See how it doesn't fit in right away on the that side. We're just going to have to pressure it in there with a hammer or whatever, because I don't have epoxy or glue to glue the buckle in there, so I have to wedge it in there and get it a tight fit, so when I undo the belt buckle or the belt, when I take it off, it doesn't rip right out of there. So I'm going to first glue these two pieces together and use clear gel tacky glue on that like every other video, and I'm going to glue those, and I'll be right back with you to put the belt buckle in there. Do some final finessing round over the corners so it's not nice and sharp, and then burn in the back, and then we'll be closer to being done. So glue that, and I'll be right back with you. Already at this point the glue is dry on the joint from the back and the front of it. So we're almost done. Now what we can do is sand the edges to make them nice and smooth, and maybe give it a little round over and make it nice and smooth, because when you're wearing this you don't want any sharp edges to poke you or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and sand that, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, I'm back here off the sander, and I just rounded off and eased off every edge, even on the back. Finished it up with some 220, and that makes it real nice and smooth. And we're almost done. Now I'm going to give it a burning in the back, and I'll show you how to do that. And there's the burning in the back. Now before I put the belt buckle in here, I'm going to give it a clear coat, and it's just the Krylon clear acrylic. with that, I'm going to put probably 2 or 3 more coats on it with steel wool in between, and that will keep the surface of it nice and smooth. And the reason for all those coats is because again, this is a belt buckle and it might get bumped or scratched, maybe even nicked. Hopefully it won't, but it'll somewhat protect it. So give it a couple more coats and we'll be back with you to show you the final step to put this together. Already what we have is I put 3 coats of clear acrylic on that, and again with steel wool in between. You can use like 1,000 to 6,000 grit sandpaper, but I don't have that, but it just keeps it smooth. And I also did a coat on the back. So now what I'm going to do is I designed this so my original belt buckle would fit right in it, and very snugly, that is, because I don't have a way of really fastening to it, because I don't have epoxy or hot glue or anything like that. And I need these parts on it, so I can't really just buy something and I don't have. So what I'm going to do is just force that in there, and it's a very tight fit. That way it doesn't come off. So forced it in there, and now it's stuck in there and it won't come out. So that is basically done, and this can come out with a little bit of force, but over time it'll eat away at around here, and if you put it in, it'll easily come out. So I'm going to try not to take it out much, but if need be, I can. So our belt buckle is pretty much done, and just I wish I had something to fasten in there more, but that'll be good enough for now. So it's pretty much done. There's the final product. Thanks for watching this video of the belt buckle. It's sort of rigged on there how it is, but serves its purpose for the country scroller himself. And thanks for watching this video.